In this video, I'll show you my journey through the Peachtober art challenge, my painting process, the materials and prompts I used, and share my thoughts about this project. Let's flip through my sketchbook and see what I made of this challenge. Hello lovely people, my name is Kata. I am an illustrator with a full-time job and I've never done an October art challenge. To be clear, I've never done any art challenge entirely. I always fail in such things, but yeah, every year I see artists joining Inktober, Peachtober, all these creative challenges popping up everywhere on social media. Maybe you know them too, and also fascinated by those lovely illustrations and how everyone interprets the prompts differently in such creative richness. Or maybe you've always wanted to try one yourself and you did it. Please let me know. But if you're like me, maybe you struggle with consistency or you want to paint more, but life just always happens and gets in the way, like work or so many other things to do in our daily life. And I knew that this would happen, so I decided to do this Peachtober challenge in a different way, in a more slow and calming and relaxing way, that I wasn't able to do all the prompts. And so since the beginning I didn't stress out about this. But even though I wanted to see what happens when I really commit to this challenge and even try to draw as much as I am capable to do. Normally I don't have much free time because I have a full work week, but I try to paint various prompts on my free day. On my free days I spend a lot of time painting. Also I wanted to use especially acrylic gouache in the sketchbook I have. At the beginning of the challenge I wrapped this sketchbook in a beautiful fabric. This is a sketchbook I already owned, and so it gained a new purpose in life. I wanted to create not just sketches but small curated illustrations, pages that really feel finished and cohesive, like tiny stories. In the end of this video I want to comment on my paintings. There I talk about the prompts and share what this challenge really taught me. So of course I didn't want to fail a challenge, so I slightly changed the rules. But I think in this type of activities in your free time, what does failure even mean? I mean, maybe one wouldn't finish those 31 prompts. Of course, it must be such an accomplishment if you do so. But even if I didn't, I'd still paint more than usual, I thought. And that's already such a big win for me, personally. I can already say that in this case, I reached my goal. Yeah, so it all started very relaxed because I was 10 days late. I remember that the 10th day of the challenge I decided to begin, but better late than never. So then the first day I already did 2 prompts. I thought I would do like 10 prompts in one day, but it is impossible. I'm a really slow painter, so really quickly I noticed that this wasn't going to happen. What I also noticed in this time I did this challenge was that I didn't prep for the prompts. For me it was very time consuming to think about what I wanted to paint, especially when you want to do those curated illustrations with a little story or a character in it, composition of the painting, the pages. Sometimes I sketched out my ideas in another sketchbook for ideas, and I went back there when I needed another idea to figure out what to paint next. I have to be honest, I'm really not good in consistency at all. So while I was doing the challenge, I remember I was doing it for 5 consecutive days, and then my motivation dropped and I had to do so much other things in my life and work. And I remember that for 1 week I didn't paint at all, but that is okay. I think my challenge wasn't linear, and so definitely some days can fly by and you don't know where the time went. But I didn't want to give up. So I told myself, okay, I will do some other illustrations and let's see how far I can get. And these last days I did what I could, and even finished several prompts in one sitting today. In the end, did I make all the 31 prompts? You may guess. No, but I really enjoyed this challenge. I created so many illustrations and learned about the materials. I learned a lot about the medium acrylic gouache. I think this is a very good chance you have by doing a challenge with one medium or something so repetitive that you really get to know this thing better. And for me it was a very good thing to do. To paint with gouache isn't always easy. You have to do the mixing process and consistency of the paint, let it dry enough, or some techniques like to paint wet and wet, or to let it dry and paint on top, and the color effects. To observe this was a very cool learning process. Yeah, finally, here you can see my results, and I tell you a bit about the illustrations and the pages. I almost never paint the first page, so I saved it up for later. So the first painting I did was the prompt bark. By the way, I didn't do all the prompts in the right order of the days. I really went for where I felt the most inspiration. Yeah, bark, obviously it means different things. The bark of a tree and also bark of a dog. So I thought, let's combine the two things. Really, my favorite trees are birches, so I thought of those gorgeous yellow, green, white colors of birches in autumn. It's everywhere around now. And we have this very cute photo where Lumi tried to get up a tree to catch a squirrel. And so, yeah, I painted the situation with him there in the woods. The next page is the prompt acorn. I was practicing using the materials, and I noticed that on the executive side it could be better, but I really love my idea that the acorns are like sort of light bulbs, and the squirrel is decorating his home in the forest. And then I had this next page when I thought of Saturn and its rings, painting ring. It's like a mini view to the universe. With the word marble, I associated those really beautiful book end pages. And maybe you know that they are printed with many colors. And I thought, why not a view from above in the ocean, where the water looks like water marble and there is a whale swimming I liked how this turned out in terms of the pre-sketch. I had this red-orange color pencil sketch, and it peeks through in some places, so it has these interesting shapes and also colors. The next page is the prompt aquarium. At first I thought about painting fish, but I don't like them so very much, so I thought about why not paint a axolotl. If you don't know them, they are very fascinating creatures, and they are, in my opinion, they are so cute. I know that there are other people who think that they are creepy, but I definitely find them cute. The next prompt was hatch, so I decided to make a cohesive page, paint this little axolotl baby and all his brothers and sisters. But look at those cute little arms and those big eyes. If you search for photos of them in internet, the babies are really also really cute. And also in this painting I like the contrast of this vibrant green and this pink and the darker background and the water, and how the eggs peek through with this red sheen they have. So this page is the prompt brush. I got really inspired by those really ugly October days where outside it is only grey and raining. Then thought of, what if I really could only paint this grey away? And yeah, this was happening, really happening on my paper and on my day. Although I'm already missing summer. The next pages are the prompt whistle. I wanted to paint one of those kettles to boil water. On the other hand, there is a toad, the prompt toad. I didn't want to paint a frog, so I thought of this mushroom. On the next page, I have the prompt poppy. I got inspired by those dried poppy flowers I found in the monastery garden this year, and since then I have them here in our house for decoration purpose. They are so gorgeous and so interesting. We will sow the seeds next year. The vase is a little bit boring, so I added those red stripes because stripes was another prompt, I think, but also because with the green and red it really takes the color combinations of blooming poppies, like this one here on the other side of the page. The prompt strawberry, I really went out of ideas, I have to say, so I painted a really normal strawberry, but those mini strawberries which grow in the forest and in the small corners of the garden. I found it interesting also to try out the color combination for the background, what I'm not entirely happy with, but it's something different. Let's come to the last painting of this Peachtober challenge, which is Leaf. Yeah, I think this is, with the brush one, this is my favorite one. First I thought about this hanging mobile of leaves because I thought I would really love this in my home. Maybe I will do it in the next makeover, but I thought of this and thought that it would be so cute to have a hedgehog mother with a baby, but then I thought for composition purposes it was much easier to paint only the baby hedgehog. So yeah, this is how it turned out. The hedgehog sleeping in his home. Yeah, I really love how the background turned out and the color combinations, and yeah, he's really cute. So one of my favorite illustrations this October. In the end, I realized maybe I didn't get what I wanted, to do all the prompts, to have the sketchbook full, but I got what I needed. I didn't finish all the prompts, but I found something so much more valuable, the joy of simply showing up to paint and also to learn in a very slow process of painting. That this wasn't perfection, and I also noticed some things in the drawings that I didn't like, and overall it was a real progress in my practice. Again, it reminded me that creativity doesn't need to be perfect or complete. It just needs to be wholeheartedly and honest, and you have to find the courage to begin and to do what you love. If you're thinking about doing an art challenge, I think I can recommend it. Just not to prove something, but I think to reconnect with your why. Your why, the center of your motivation and your love for painting in the first place. Observe what you can learn on the way. Because I think even unfinished journeys can be beautiful ones.